What KPIs should you ultimately focus on, and what's the strategic objective of your online marketing itself? So I see this all the time. A lot of people are chasing various vanity metrics like likes on Facebook, comments, social shares, a lot of these social metrics which are considered top of funnel, that show that people have engaged with their stuff, that they've subscribed to their email list, that they converted at some early stage of a funnel. However, the problem is that yes, these in themselves are good and they're important, but ultimately the success of a business hinges on its revenue and its profitability. So ultimately, the two main KPIs that you should be basically looking at is average customer value and lifetime customer value. And let me explain why. So unfortunately, there's no free lunch in this economy and in this world. So in one way or another, you have to pay for your traffic and for the privilege of basically doing business. So if your content game and conversion game is strong and everything, then you're probably having trouble with the traffic side. If your traffic side is going well and you don't have to spend so much time, money, or energy on it, then probably your conversions are suffering. But I very rarely see businesses which excel at every single part, at both traffic and conversions and lifetime customer value and all these stuff. So with that being said, it's safe to assume that for every business, it costs money to acquire a new customer, and the cost for this is cost per acquisition. And this is very closely tied to your average order value or your average customer value, because the higher you can put your average order value, the more you can spend on acquiring a new customer. And there's actually a saying in marketing circles, namely, the person who can spend the most to acquire a new customer ultimately wins. And it's true. Big businesses can often spend much more because they have much higher cash flows than smaller businesses, and ultimately they will just cannibalize the market share of smaller businesses. So the best way to be able to basically eat a higher cost per acquisition is to also raise your average order value. And this is basically mandatory nowadays, okay? So if you sell a product, you have a core product or an introductory product, it's not enough to just sell that. You have to upsell or cross-sell or even maybe downsell something to people. And you know what? Actually, a lot of customers probably expect this nowadays to some degree. So when I see a lot of e-commerce people, obviously they're selling something, and Shopify or any other platform that they use basically allows them to very easily do upsells and cross-sells and try to retarget them and find those buyers with different retargeting ads that try to sell them complementary stuff. Obviously, they're doing email marketing. They should be doing email marketing, and that's a very great opportunity to try to sell them even more and raise their customer value. So that ultimately the aim here is that you as a business should be able to afford to acquire a customer, even if it's at a loss upfront, but you know that ultimately within a week, 2 weeks, or 1 month, or even 6 months, you'll be able to make a significant profit of this customer because your system, your funnel, your backend is able to sell them complementary stuff or maybe various upgrades or downgrades, so that all the money that they spend with your business is increased, and then you can take that initial loss as well. So that's why average order value is important, and regardless of what business you're in, regardless of what business model you use, you should definitely use this. You should definitely try to add extra add-ons or sales boosts to your core products. Just think about McDonald's, for example. This is the most famous upsell of all times, probably. Do you want fries with that? So the main reason here is because people who buy a burger are much, much, much more likely to also buy the fry or also supersize their meal or something like that. So this is a great example of an upsell, but you can also upsell even more expensive products. So let's say somebody gets into your funnel if you have a digital business like an online course business. Somebody gets into your funnel, you sell them something small like an introductory offer, and then you immediately give them a page for your higher tier offer. Or if you're a SaaS company, then you give them an upsell opportunity to buy membership for a full year at a slight discount, but that still means cash flow for you, and it's very important. But getting back to our online business example, let's say you offer them an introductory product, and then if they don't buy the other more expensive product right off the bat, well, no problem. That's why email marketing is for. That's why retargeting ads are for. You can definitely create a 2-3 week long email campaign with a few emails each week to warm them up, and then try to do an evergreen launch or automatically pitch them in an evergreen way so that they're much more likely to buy. And if they buy that, cool. On the checkout page, give them an upsell. If they buy that, give them another upsell. Give them a bump offer, which is basically, a lot of people use this. They offer people a low price product, and then they offer them various upsells right on that same checkout page. So let's say somebody buys an ebook for like $20 or $30, then they have an opportunity to also buy like a 1 hour masterclass for this for an extra $50 or something. I actually do the same thing for one of my own products, the 7-Day Rainmaker email sequence, which is an email template pack, which can be bought in its regular form. So the template pack itself with some basic instructions. And there's also a version which has a 1 hour masterclass in which I go through every single line of every single email and explain why it works and how to use it as best as I can. And I'm getting like a 30-40% conversion rate on these types of bump offers, because they just naturally complement the product itself, and people seem to like it. So remember, always make sure to focus on the end result and the end result KPIs at the end of the day, which are average order value, average customer value, and lifetime customer value. And lifetime customer value basically just means that you try to keep your customers happy and engaged for as long as possible, because I'm sure you know this, but it's much harder for you to acquire a new customer, especially in this economy, than to keep an older one and just try to monetize them in another more creative way or something. And with that being said, I hope you found this helpful. Leave a comment below and let me know what's the number one thing you've learned from this video. Maybe about these specific KPIs, maybe something else, maybe it was just an example that I mentioned here. Just leave a comment. I want to know, and I want to get to know you better so that we start a conversation, and hopefully we all benefit from this. So have a nice day. See you tomorrow. Take care and cheers.